I spent 6 months mastering the invert binary tree algorithm. I practiced until I could write it in my sleep. I thought that once I mastered the hard logic, I had made it. But then I sat down in my first architectural review at a product-led company. I realized something terrifying. Coding is the easy part. It's binary, it works or it doesn't. The hard part, that's the gray area. It's making sure the code you're writing actually matters to the human on the other side of the screen. We spend years learning to talk to machines, but zero time learning how to translate those machines for people. Let me tell you about the most perfect code I ever wrote that ended up being completely useless. I was tasked with building a filtering system for a dashboard. I was obsessed with elegance using a complex high-performance bitmasking approach. It was a work of art, but I never sat down with the product manager to ask how users actually searched. I focused on the how and ignored the why. When we launched, we realized users needed fuzzy search for typos, not high-speed bitwise filtering. My code couldn't do that. I had built a jet engine for a car that only needed to drive to the grocery store. I optimized for a problem that didn't exist. This reminds me of a concept in cultural communication. How the American "how are you" is often a hollow formality, whereas in other cultures it's a genuine inquiry. In tech, we do the same thing. We perform engineering. We write clean code, use trendy frameworks, and follow solid principles to the letter. It's a performance. We perform friendship with our codebase without being present for the actual problem we're solving. If our code doesn't solve the user's pain, it's just a hollow greeting. It's a "how are you" when we don't actually care about the answer. So what's the difference? It's the shift from coder to product engineer. A coder solves the ticket. They build the best button you've ever seen, focusing on syntax and latency. There's value there, but it has a ceiling. A product engineer understands why that button exists. They ask, does this solve a frustration or just add clutter? They understand how it affects system design. Will it trigger a cascade of API calls that melts the database? Most importantly, they can explain those trade-offs to a CEO who doesn't know what a database is. This intersection is where the top 1% of engineers live. It's not about knowing more LEET code. It's about having the clarity to see the whole map. That's why I'm starting Dev Clarity. The internet is full of pass-the-interview videos, but there's almost nothing on how to survive the job. This channel is about what happens after you get the desk. We'll talk data structures and system design, but as tools for humans, not just puzzles for computers. I'll share the failures, the messy legacy code, and the communication breakdowns that taught me more than any textbook. In a world of hype and new frameworks every week, it's easy to feel like a gear in a machine you don't understand. We're here to get clear. So my question for you, are you building code or are you building a product? The answer changes everything about how you study and work. If you're ready to build real systems that last, hit subscribe. Let's get clear. See you in the next one.